Alright, so this tutorial is going to cover the placement of the site topography in the KSU project we've been working on thus far. So we've got here our building, we have our footer. We obviously haven't been modeling all of this. The anticipation here is that you guys are going to actually be finishing out your models based on the demos that I've shown you. So we can go ahead and let's go to site plan. And if we go into the site plan, we have this little widget here. If we click on it, we can start to adjust the angle of north, and we can do a little bit of project information, so we can start to edit this and how it starts to engage other projects. I'm not going to get into that all that right now, but essentially here the easiest thing, we can start to adjust the true north, and in true Revit form, it makes it easier for us to orient our grid. Alright, and so what we're going to be doing, if we're going to be drawing our site, we're going to go ahead under massing and site. We're going to draw a topo surface. So I'll just go through this quickly. This is how you would draw a surface. This is where you're going to find trees and things like that. You're going to find parking components in here. Once we place a topo surface, we're going to end up placing a building pad. That'll enable us to extract down, and I'll show you right here, and excavate down into the site. Once we have a topo surface, we can also split and then re-merge if we do things, and we can create subregions. We can draw property lines, we can adjust the grading, and then we can also label our contours. Okay, so it's not incredibly complex, but if we go ahead and just hit the topo surface here, it goes back into sketch mode. And so then we can come in here and we can set the elevation for our points here. Now there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can also create by importing these vectors, and if we do this, we need to make sure that the DWG file that we're using is actually a 3D file, and that's important because if you just have contours that have elevation lines in them, then that's not going to do you any good. You'll have to manually move each one of those up in CAD before you bring it in. Okay, or we can come in here and we can place points, and this is sort of the easiest way for us to do this. I'm going to go ahead and just set the elevation at 0, and I'm going to draw 4 points here that are going to give us essentially start the topography right at grade. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop this grade down. So we'll go through here, and you can see how it's building that topography here. Alright, and so we have everything sitting on this pad, and we can go ahead and if we hit confirm, place that. And then we go into one of our elevations, go to the south elevation. You can see that that's been updated and embedded in here. You can see the fill here. Alright, and so at this point we can go ahead and we can start to look at this in section here. So if we go to our building section, you'll see here we have a little bit of an error with this guy. And so if we select this stuff, we're not going to end up sitting right at all as we go through this. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our site plan. And we're going to punch a hole in this for our building, so that we actually can carve out, say if you wanted to do a basement or something like that, or have a crawl space, for example, would be more likely for the model we've got going on. We can go ahead and do that. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into my foundation view to draw this, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw the boundary line here. Okay, and I'm just going to go from here, and we'll use our 12-inch foundation wall to do this. Alright, and then once we've done that, we hit OK. And if we go into our building section now, we should be able to see our pad. Okay, and it's selected here. And the level constraint, we're going to go ahead and drop that down. Apply. And you can say that cleared out this interior space. You could actually have a crawl space developed in the interior of this. Okay. So then if we go into our section again, we can go ahead and see how that's actually been cleared out. Okay. Alright, and so the next thing we want to do, I'm going to go ahead, and this is still not sitting right, so I'm going to take this guy and actually reorient it down another foot. So if we go into our site plan here, select this guy, we're going to edit the surface. these points. And so we'll go ahead and set this to -1. And then we'll do -1, 3. Oop. Okay, and what that did is, as we pulled that down, that actually set it up so that the grade is actually coming up against our foundation wall now. So when we go into our wall section, we will no longer be having to worry about this. So our weep holes in our section will actually be correct as we go through this. Well, not incredibly, but it'll work. So, okay. And so that's the basics of just placing the topography. You can modify this, you can split some of these things. I encourage you guys to play with that. But and then if we come in here, I'll show you one more thing. So we'll go to site plan view. What happened to our... So the other way we can do this is I just undid all that. We can come in here and there's 2 accuracy levels here. If you want this to be more accurate, you can go ahead and just create one and then edit it. So we'll select this guy, and it's going to tell us that it's going to destroy the guy that we have here. We can set this to -1, 3. Set this to -1, 3. Pull it away. All right, so we can hit OK. And again, so we can go through this. See how that's updated. Let's go in here. It looks like it duplicated this, so we've got 2 versions of our topography here, and so we can go ahead and just delete that older version away. Alright, you can see that we got this working. Go ahead and hide that element from the view. Alright, and so that's how you guys are going to set up your site.